Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm at the fabric store looking for some 4-way stretch fabric so that we can create some beautiful opera length hand gloves. I'll probably put some fringe on it, depends on what kind of fabric I find. I found this beautiful iridescent fabric. It's bubblegum pink. There are a lot of different options and colors, but I really do like this bubblegum pink with the iridescent on it. It's 4-way stretch fabric. First, we'll start out by printing the pattern. You can find the link in the description below. Now, when you're printing the pattern, make sure you're printing on letter size and making sure that the margins are turned off. And also make sure that there is no scaling, so you're making the pattern fit to the paper and not scaling it. Once you have done that, of course, go ahead and line up the papers, A1 next to A2 next to A3. I strongly encourage and advise to print out the scaling box first, which is on the first page, just to make sure it measures 2 by 2 inches. Tape all the pieces together just to make sure nothing moves out of place. Of course, I measure the box towards the end because I've already printed this pattern out multiple times and tested it out as well. Now go ahead and cut the outer line of the pattern. I'm always trying to improve my overall process of making these patterns and making these videos, so if there are certain things that I need to add, I will definitely take those recommendations from you guys. Now take your fabric and, like I said, make sure it's a 4-way stretch fabric. Now I'll go ahead and fold the fabric right sides together and pin the pattern on top of the fabric. Now that we don't need the excess fabric, go ahead and cut around the pattern. Now this is the important part. We are going to sew around the perimeter of the pattern without taking the pattern off. Now if you are someone who feels uncomfortable sewing on top of pins, I definitely recommend not doing so. I've done this plenty of times and I am willing to take the risk for a good pair of hand gloves, so I'll go ahead and sew right on top of the pins. What I'm basically doing is tracing around the pattern. Now when you are sewing around the fingertips, it is normal to take a break, lift your foot, move your fabric around, and then continue sewing. You will see me doing this multiple times throughout the whole process. Once you're done sewing, go ahead and remove all the pins, and if you accidentally sewed on the pattern, then gently lift the pattern just to make sure there is no tears. Now go ahead and sew about a 1/4 inch inside the original line that we sewed around. And it should look something like this. Before I turn the fabric right side out, I do like to kind of try the glove on just to make sure it fits properly. And if it fits right, go ahead and cut around the perimeter of the glove. I'm cutting close to the seam line, but not too close to break them. And it should look something like this. Now we'll go ahead and make tiny little slashes around the perimeter of the glove. We're only going to go as far as the outside seam line because we do not want to break the inside seams. This part of the process is optional, however, it does help to create the slashes because there's less ripples, less tugging on the glove when you put them on. Now go ahead and turn the glove right side out and try it on. If you feel like there's a lot of gaps in between the fingers, then you can definitely go ahead and sew much more deeper to make sure it fits your fingers properly. Now I'll go ahead and cut a square piece of fabric so that we can create a beautiful fringe moment with these opera length hand gloves. In order for me to achieve this, I will have to seam rip the part of the glove that sits on my elbow and then pin my square piece to the glove and sew on top. Now I'll turn the glove right side out and make half-inch slashes on the square piece. This will create those beautiful fringes that we're looking for, that will create movement when the body moves. And there you have it, you guys. Beautiful opera-length fringe hand gloves made from iridescent 4-way stretch fabric. As always, you guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. If you guys have any recommendation on future videos, I will really appreciate it if you drop them in the comments below as well.